news from Malawi. Got back yesterday after nearly 24 hours of flights from Ireland via London, Heathrow, Ethiopia and Mozambique. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I got back yesterday and I didn't particularly want to be here. It was kind of like the first day back at school after a really good long summer holidays, when it's a rainy first day back and you've actually got a load of homework on your last day of school and you can't remember what it was and you didn't do it, and you've got to catch up really quickly. And what wouldn't be common with going back to school, all of your classmates and the teachers are scrounging from you. And this started, the scrounging, it happens a lot here basically, and it happens a lot especially if you're trying to project manage little community projects and people just see you as Mr. Moneybags. And I've really done my best to fight against that, you know, to just be to keep things really clean and simple and clear, that we're here to do X, Y and Z project. Any funds, any support that I get can go towards just these things. It can't go to individual people. That did not prevent that just setting out on my journey yesterday. I still had one bag to finish packing at home in Laois, and then I get a WhatsApp call from someone on Chissy Island who I'd given the phone to, a smartphone to, for the project. And he asks me, first of all, it's all the nice, hello, how are you, Evan? You're travelling today? Yeah, what day will you be back on Chissy? Great, well listen, safe travels, and say hello to your family, and wish you well, all the usual niceties, which are lovely, all the ritual pleasantries. But I knew what was coming, because this person's already rang me while I was at home. And then he says all of that up to that in the conversation went into Chewa, and then he says in English, "But don't forget the phone for my son," which he'd been nagging about for the last couple of weeks. So I said, I am not bringing any phones. So that was to set off, that was setting out on the journey. And then when I got to the airport, got through customs, no bother. I can carry all of the bags that I brought, about 4 big bags. I can load them onto to an airport trolley, and I can push the airport trolley all by myself. Nevertheless, there was 2 fellas who came up to me with the big old smiles and then just did everything to make contact with my bags, and then followed me out of the airport, kind of with one hand on either side of the luggage trolley, as though they were 2 6-year-olds and I was their daddy, walking out of the airport, smiling at me as much as they could. And then we get out to the car, and I can't carry all 4 of my bags simultaneously, so I throw the first 2 in, and then that gave the 2 guys the chance to take bags number 3 and 4 and throw them in, and then of course expect a tip for that. And I reached into my pocket just to try and find some kwacha, but of course I'm on euros up until that point, just arriving in Malawi, and I couldn't find anything, so I took out a couple of 50 euro notes from my pocket. I was looking for kwacha. Then they said, oh yeah, give us one of those. Oh yeah, give you 50 euro for touching my bags. Anyway, I don't think the tiredness of the flight helped with my general humour and motivation about being back in Malawi. Once I was back in the village, unloaded the bags into my house, which is now also the Lifesavers Youth Club house. So that was full of kids within 30 minutes, drawing pictures and whatever else. I just was not in the humour for it. Threw them out a bag of Lego, that kept them occupied. And then get a house call from Fresco Masuku. Fresco Masuku is the Senior Disease Control and Surveillance Officer for the health centre here on the mainland closest to Chissy Island, and I've worked with Fresco since 2019, all the way through the COVID crisis. All of the GoFundMe money that we received during the COVID crisis to get out more than 50,000 tailor-made masks, well, by local tailors here, and bars of soap and everything, and hundreds of villages sensitized about washing hands and wearing masks and everything. That was more down to Fresco than it was down to me. He's a master of a man when it comes to talking to the community about public health issues, about family planning stuff, and just, he's really, really good. Been working around here for maybe 10 years, and Fresco anyway, after all the usual niceties and the genuine niceties of Happy New Year and how was your Christmas and all the rest, then Fresco says, hey Evan, you know cholera is in the area now. Now I had heard about cholera in news reports while I was home, that it was in the two main cities, Lilongwe and Blantyre, and it's spreading at a rate that has obliged the authorities to close all schools in Lilongwe and Blantyre for the time being. But I didn't realise it was already in really rural parts like here. So I says, yeah, we've got 10 cases a day on average in the Gangala Health Centre, and a couple of deaths already, and it's also on Chissy Island. So I've never worked on a cholera crisis before, but I've got a feeling I better start reading up on it. So I'm heading back to the island today. I'm going to visit the health centre, see what the story is there, and also you've got to, in case there's whatever, there's something out or something up where the health workers aren't there, you've always got to have a backup plan with your journey in Malawi. That's what I find. So I'm also going to bring down this massive slab of wood that we're going to use for toy making competitions, and the two big gear bags containing 45 kg of Lego that are going to go to the island's nurseries. So that's the plan.